every year my mom and I would fly up to Ohio to visit family for Christmas. At this time, big WCW fan during the Monday Night Wars. Sitting there at the terminal, minding my own business, I hear a noise behind me. I turn, and I see the back of this guy reading a comic book. And I kind of glance over, look at my mom and say, "Oh, my God, Mom, it's Raven." She goes, "Who's Raven and who cares?" I say, "Mom, this is Raven, the leader of the flock. I want to ask him for an autograph." She says, "Leave him alone. Don't talk to strangers," kind of thing. So being the 10-year-old boy, you're obviously not going to listen. So I take the only thing I have with me to sign, my plane ticket for Delta. I go over, "Mr. Raven, would you please sign my airline ticket?" He glances up at me, takes my ticket, "What's your name?" puts it on there, signs it Raven, gives it back. That was it. The only 2 words he said to me. Fast forward about 20 years, I go to WrestleCade, see him there, tell him the story, and he's like, "Was I a dick to you?" I said, "Well, you only said 2 words to me, but otherwise you weren't a dick." He's like, "Well, that's good. I've been told I've been a real dick sometimes." While saying all this, spelled my name wrong on the 8x10. He somehow made my wife's name cover up my name, gave that to her, gave me a new one, and did not charge me for the second 8x10.
Well, Raven, you've been a dick to me before. Let the record state. But also, you've been very nice. And I like Raven. Raven's a good enough guy. He's well aware of his past tendencies, at the very least. I think that's something that probably all of us will say in our older years to fans who say, "We met you way back when." I think as we grow, we get more mature, we become a little more self-aware of who we are. Sometimes we're sad about our past actions. Not everybody was absolutely perfect at every single time in their career. And that's the truth, and that needs to be heard. Because there are going to be calls about stories, about people who are sad, about people who have treated them some way in the past, who are a celebrity. But I think it's important that we all take a step back and say that person was doing something in that day, could have been a bad day, who knows. I don't hold any malice against Karl Malone or Hank Aaron, who told me I wasn't allowed to have an autograph when I was 10 years old. I'll share the story. I'm sure there was maybe something going on or their own demons to fight. That's for them to figure out. I'm doing just fine. I'm happy to anonymously call that story up to a basketball or baseball anonymous. But until then, it is what it is. Raven was who he was. And in this instance, he was fine. The guy was hanging out, reading a comic book. It all checks out, believe me. Got the autograph. Years later, fucked up an autograph, made good on that. You come out of this one good, Raven. The title of this was, "Is Raven a Dick?" And I think the answer is no, which I'm sure he'd be happy to hear. Hey, thanks for watching. That call was part of a whole podcast called Wrestling Anonymous. Listen to the whole thing weekly. Wherever you listen to your podcast, go subscribe. And while you're at it, subscribe right here on YouTube to Colt Cabana's channel. Thank you.